Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Uh, I am Dr. Abdul Qadir. Today, I would like to discuss with you about a topic for ban. Uh, so, before we go ban, let us look at some important things in the anatomy of the skin. So, the skin, it contains layers, the epidermis, then we have dermis, and then we have hypodermis or subcutaneous fats. Uh, so, as we all know, the epidermis is avascular, doesn't have muscles. So, and the dermis is the portion which is from and hypo. You see, the dermis, it is between the epidermis and the hypodermis. This area is called the dermis. It contains blood vessels, nerves, and also hair follicles. Okay, and it has the dermis has layers including stratum corneum. Then we have stratum germinatum, and we have spongiosum and basalis. These four layers. These layers for skin. And also there is sweat glands, and also we have a sebaceous glands. That is brief anatomy. Then we can go to the band. What is band and how can we classify it? So by definition, band is a tissue injury from thermal, physical, or chemical injury, or from chemical, physical, or chemical contact. So band is classified into these three categories: thermal injury, physical injury, means electrical injury or electrical injury, and we have chemical contact. So let us look at the thermal band. First, number one, it is scald band. Scald band, as you can see our background, it results from hot water. So this is usually produced by water, and the most vulnerable group people is very young and very old people. So they usually give rise to sorry. So let us look at fat band. Fat band, okay, it's type of thermal band usually caused by cooking oil. As we know, the fat is or the oil have a much higher temperature according to the water, and also they do not cool down fastly, so they cool down very slowly. So the damage will be deeper according to the scald band. Flame band, it is caused by a fire wherever it comes. A virus, okay, and usually this injury occur in the confined spaces and associated with inhalation injury, and flame is also can cause the ban. Cold ban, it can occur in the mountain regions and also in the certain industries due to the industries sometimes they use nitrogenous liquids. Whatever it is, that cold will cause a cell damage that result from partial or full thickness ban. So severe cooling of the cell will freeze the tissue resulting from ice formation and tissue damage. Prolonged exposure to cold can result from frostbite. This is due to the vasoconstriction and ischemia of the tissue. Electrical burn is usually resulting from an passage of electrical current through the tissue. So it causes heating and that heating will result in a cellular damage. So there is a rule which is the heat produced is proportional. It is directly proportional to the resistance of the tissue. If the resistance of the tissue, for example, the bone, it has a resistance. It is not cannot be contacted. So the heat will increase if the tissue resistance increase. That is the meaning. And duration of contact and the square of the current also increase. So since the bone is poor conductor, it will become very hot, then it can cause secondary damage to the near tissue. So we can classify the electrical injury into two groups. First group is a low voltage, and we have another group is high voltage injury. Low voltage is usually from domestic supply, our electricity that we use in the home. This can cause a significant wound and induce cardiac arrest and cardiac arrest. Okay, high voltage cause a damage by two mechanisms. Number one, flash from the edge will give rise to burning of the clothing, and it will have injury and exit wound, and the current transmission through the body will cause respiratory and cardiac arrest. Okay, chemical burns. As we know, chemicals we can get from the homes or the houses and also from the chemical industries. These chemicals will cause a tissue damage depending on their strength and quality and duration of contact. These chemicals will cause local coagulation of the protein and necrosis, and some of them will have a systemic effect due to inhalation of that chemicals. Okay, so the harmful effect will continue until the chemical is diluted. So the first initial step to protect from the chemical ban is water. Yes, irrigation with water. We shall look at the assessment of the depth of the ban depend on. So in a thermal ban, the depth of the band depends on temperature of the burning agent 1, Number 2, mode of transmission of that heat and the duration of contact the band. Let us look at the classification according to the depth of the band. Okay, we have the superficial band or first degree band. We can have superficial partial thickness band or second degree band. Second degree band, it has two: superficial partial thickness and the deeper thickness. And we can have a full thickness band. Okay, superficial partial thickness, the injury is confined to the epidermis and the papillary dermis, while this one, it will reach to the reticular of the dermis up to down here in the deep partial, and the superficial, it will be superficial to the dermis. Okay, it will reach to the papillary dermis. And this is importantly full thickness band. It will extend through the epidermis, dermis, and also sometimes it can reach subcutaneous. Okay, it reaches subcutaneous actually. So epidermis now involve dermis and also subcutaneous. Beyond that, it's called fourth degree band. So full thickness band is third degree band, and fourth degree band is involvement of the bones and the muscles.